Make sure we got that done. All right. Okay. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Mr. Z's in here. Okay. All right. So this is going out to a Miss Inky. I think Inky. Let's say Inky. She came in. The comment is in my thumbnail, right? So when you click this, if your phone is big enough or whatever, you should be able to read the comment that Miss Inky left. Um, Somewhat defending Real Talk with Yanni. This is a video I put out a little while ago. And shout out to Miss Inky, okay. And she's speaking about how what Real Talk with Yanni is talking about is how black men haven't built collectively, right? Okay, so another you black men ain't ish comment, disguised as you black men haven't built for us. And okay, so let's address the elephant in the room here. And first people in, please put a comment in so I can know that you guys can hear me. So let's address the elephant in the room, which is you black men haven't allowed me to be a spoiled brat, upper middle class white woman, an entitled brat. I want to be a petulant child, and I want to show off my ring and my house and my 60 plus $1,000 car, $70,000 plus car, and I want to defecate on white women, and I have this insatiable inferiority complex that can only be quelched by walking around with my nose in the air in front of other women, including and especially white women. So, you know, um, Real Talk with Yanni, Paris Milan, they speak about how black men haven't built collectively. And it's really the myth of white womanhood, right? Black men haven't put the collective of black women in the space that the top 20% white women is, right? Not even all white women, but the top 20% white women. And because black men, which are only 6% of the US population, haven't put black women as a collective in the position that upper middle class plus white women are, upper middle class and rich white women are, then black men haven't built. And what are black men doing? You're losers, dusties, bums, whatever the hell, whatever expletives and pejoratives. Okay. Um, Alrighty then. And from that standpoint, then they go out and say how these non-black men do for their women, even though 70+% of mothers in America work. That 76% of mothers in America work. In America is less than 40 grand. So let's say even 45. Let's say 45 to be nice. Okay, fine. 45,000. You ain't building much with 45 grand, but okay, cool. So even with all of these quotes and these, even though we know the numbers, white women continue to chastise black men for essentially not killing themselves to make insecure, childish little girls feel like women because they walk around white women looking down on them. And I get it, fine. You feel insecure when you're with Becky and she's speaking about her parents' summer home. And you feel insecure around Mei Ling and she's speaking about how she doesn't need this job because her parents are going to leave her a business or something or leave her some money. And you feel so insecure when Consuela or Marisol speaks about how her dad has some land taking business or lawn business and she doesn't need this job. And all those ladies usually be lying, but okay. And y'all feel insecure when y'all at these jobs with other non-black women who are working, and I wonder why they're working because they really don't need the job, right? Okay. Yeah. What this really is why don't you black men die, work to death, so that me and other black women can have some money to show off, right? I mean, you're just a product. Talk about objectification. It's interesting how women talk about men objectifying them. Let me say that again. It's interesting how many women speak about men objectifying them while they objectify men as essentially nothing more than walking wallets and overglorified guard dogs. Um, and so what this really is you black men refuse to go out and die so that me and other black women can look down on white women, so that we can satiate our inferiority complex and our insecurities with products, big luxury cars, expensive jewelry, and a big house in a suburb, and that way that we can feel a certain way when our black sons come home with white girlfriends, even though we put them in a position to come home with white girlfriends. Ooh, goddamn. What about our daughters? Our daughters go to those schools too, and they don't always come home with white boyfriends. Ask if they be piping them white boys though. Goddamn, Mr. Z. The summation of this is essentially then go out and date the white and Latino dudes then. To be frank, fine, black men are losers, they're bums, they haven't built, they're just absolute the worst of the worst of the worst. They're not patriarchs, even though you really don't want patriarchs, because you don't want what else comes with patriarchs, which is the last word, and the you're gonna do what I say, beginning, end. You don't want that part of patriarchy, but you want the I get to live under the umbrella of what a man built, and now I can be a petulant child that doesn't have to take on any responsibility or accountability. That part of patriarchy, that's the part you want. So, you know, and then you throw Real Talk with Yanni in our faces. Real Talk with Yanni is an insecure, thick woman who's still mad about who was overlooking her when she was 16 years old when she was heavyset. That's your example. That's who you're throwing in our face? Whoa. These say, you know, okay. For a group of people that kept on throwing Kevin Samuels' death in our face, making lies that he died with an unattractive woman, that he died alone. Neither one of those things are true. He actually died somewhat with a smile on his face because he probably handled some business the night before, but that's a different conversation. Okay, cool. For a group of people that threw Kevin Samuels' death in our face, and the fact that he was divorced twice and whatnot, cool. It's interesting when these people didn't throw a Real Talk with Yanni in our face, as if Real Talk with Yanni is the happiest person in the world. Or throw Paris Milan in our face, who's recently married and doesn't know she wants to have children with her husband, and doesn't want to engage in the tradition of Nigerian marriage that her husband's family, you know, is encouraging. Wow. Okay, so those are the type of people that y'all use as examples. Yeah. Then you hold this insane idea of white women that then has you compare yourself to them, and then has you compare black men to white men, and then deem black men lacking because the collective of white men build. Once again, median household income for men is somewhere around $40,000-ish. Yeah. 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. 60% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency. 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. But the collective of white men have built. Y'all are so hyper-focused on those white women, the Ivanka Trumps of the world, right? The Real Housewives of Orange County of the world. Y'all can't see the forest through the trees. Y'all can't see the white men slowly chipping, the white elite men, the same type of men that you want black men to be. You don't see them slowly chipping away at all the social programs, right? That's making your life precarious. And then you turn around and chastise black men for what elite white men are doing. Not even all white men. I won't even put it on all white men. Although a lot of white conservative men live vicariously through those elite white men that are screwing them and their families over too, which is okay because black women are doing it also. Ooh, goddamn. Right? Certain black women are hoping that they were Ivanka Trump or Ivana Trump or Melania Trump. Yeah. And then some of the lefties wish they were Hillary Clinton, but that's a whole different conversation, right? Yeah. I want him to be emotionally intelligent and I want him to have some character. No, you don't. You just want him to have some insane amount of money. That way he could buy you out of your problems. Beginning in of manhood. Buying women and children out of their problems. Throw money at it. But you keep on throwing emotionally intelligent in our face, which y'all really don't mean. And then you wonder why black men dismiss you when you say it because we know you don't mean it. It's just another way to, talk down to us. But okay, yeah. So, what Real Talk with Yanni is saying, is much of nothing. She's just giving you the placating, ego stroking, black men ain't ish rage porn that you desire. Right? Thank you, Sir Anthony, for the $10 super. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat or super sticker or whatever. But why does this matter? Because it's not just me getting at Miss Inky. It is me saying, I understand. I have a handful of women that do listen in, whether they listen in because they agree with Mr. Z or whether they listen in to hate listen. I know that I have a number of women that listen in. The numbers vary wildly from 3% all the way to like a quarter, right? All the way to up to 25%, depending on the video and the subject matter. And I get it, ladies. Some of this to you is jarring. You want to put Mr. Z in the hate black women, I am man, hear me roar, hate black women squad, because I'm not saying what you would like me to say, which is another black man, another Derek Jackson, essentially, at best maybe FD signifier, which is another, really though, you Negroes are really the problem. So the Derek Jacksons are like, well, if you embrace intersectional feminism, everything about your life will be swell. And the Derek Jacksons are just, Negro, you ain't ish, just do what the women say. Which, by the way, clearly he doesn't actually believe. When black men were telling y'all that he was placating y'all and he wasn't living the life, he probably wasn't living the life that he's espousing. And then we came to find out that he wasn't probably living the life that he was espousing. And then y'all summarily pretending like black men haven't been telling y'all that for a couple years. But okay, fine. Right? And y'all excuse my background, I'm on the road right now. So, yeah. The conversation between black men and black women, it's interesting. Because black women reserve the right to be super free and act and do how, whatever they want to do. And that's nothing wrong with that. We live in a free country, in a free society. And, this nation and this society has been pushing hyper individualism for a few decades now. And black women feel like they're stuck in the black community with these non-building, secretly gay, effeminate, but also hyper-masculine man-boy children. Okay, cool. Then go date or marry the white or Latino or Asian dude. I mean, it's not like America's an anti-black white supremacist society, right? Yeah. It's not like Loving versus Virginia didn't happen in 1967, and black women have the same type of access to white men and Latino men and Asian men as black men have to white women and Latinas and Asian women, right? Miss Inky, you and your ilk should do what you think is best. Be another Candace Owens, right? Go marry the upper middle class or rich or well-connected white dude and then spew venom about the black community and respectability politics. And say F black men. Every once in a while you do a little ego stroke of black men just to show that you're not really, really racist, but you really are racist and anti-black, right? Yeah, just be another Candace Owens, right? If this is where we are, then fine. Be another, Susan Rice. Fine, right? Don't say much about racism, white supremacy. Go have a old ass looking son with a white dude, right? Fine. Right? Your son 20 something looking like he 50 something, cool. And then don't say anything about anything anti-black or racist until a black entertainer steps out of line in your mind, and then you tell him how you're going to come down with the military on his ass. Miss Susan Rice. So, I get it. Look, black men ain't ish, losers of the world. Every single black man has built, or excuse me, every other man has built, let alone the billion plus Indian men that are in poverty, or not in poverty, but struggling. Never mind that. Never mind any of that, right? Never mind any of that. Never mind all the poor Chinese men. Never mind all the poor Indian men. Never mind all the poor Latin men in Latin America, all across the Caribbean and South America. Never mind all of that. Black men, specifically black men in America, don't build. Yeah, right. Absolute losers. A bunch of women that don't have passports, never been nowhere, don't watch any documentaries, don't read much of anything about the world, the international order, the monetary fund, don't know nothing about politics or history, but they know that black men haven't built much. That much they do know. You put a documentary in front of them, they'll be asleep in 20 minutes, if even. Don't know anything about unionizing efforts, don't know anything about the gig economy, don't know anything about none of it. But they know black men haven't built. That much they do know. Black men are losers. That much they do know. Non-black men build for their women. That much they do know. Right? Yeah. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super. Knew it, and so that's why I waited before I press try again. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me get a comment in the comment box if you guys can hear me now. I am back. Stuck behind a complete and utter non-driver, but okay. Alrighty then. So, you know, to Miss Inky and to her ilk and to Real Talk with Yanny, I say, you know, there's enough not married, not racist, not colorist, top 20% white, Latino, and Asian men that you can marry. I mean, it's not like America hasn't taught you otherwise. You know? Yeah. If black men are these absolute losers, right? Black men are absolute losers, and black women should make their exit. And I get it. Black men haven't built any institutions. They don't have any money. And black women, once again, are tired of being subject to what? The looks and the glares and the condescending tone of entitled white women. And so it's black men's fault. Right? As Real Talk with Yanny said, you're the one who wanted to integrate. Right? Isn't that what Real Talk with Yanny said? Never mind President Eisenhower knowing the stories of what happened in Germany with the Jews and how this would look, how segregation would reach its natural end if there wasn't forced integration. Never mind that. The real problem was that, and like Real Talk with Yanny pretty much implied, no, she outright said it. You know, black men wanted to have sex with white women, so they forced integration on the country. Because that's the issue. It's black men in their protests, not the white president that was general. Yeah. It's black men who wanted some white vagina to validate their humanity, not the white, powerful president. You know, the same one that brought you the interstate highway system. Yeah. Not that guy. Nope. Once again, when you're ignorant of history and all you know is black men ain't ish, this is where it gets you, right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. All right, right? And once again, let me get a comment in the comment box if you guys can hear me. I haven't seen one, so maybe I'm speaking to myself right now. I don't know. Hopefully the recording will catch it though. Or it'll play when you guys do the playback, hopefully. Yeah, so, you know, I can understand. You go to work, right? You work at some office, or you work retail, and if you're in the hood or you're in a black neighborhood, you only see black people, black women working. usually for some type of minimum wage, or at least not for black women are not making the type of money you think they should make. And then you have a wayward cousin or nephew that's sleeping on your aunt's couch or your grandma's couch or your, and all you can think is black men ain't ish. Black men are losers. Maybe it's something innate. You really start putting on your white racist cap, right? You really start thinking to yourself like a white racist person. Like maybe like Paris Milan told Mr. Z, right? They were right about y'all back then. When Mr. Z told Paris Milan, you sounded like a white racist from 50 years ago. What did she say? Well, maybe they were right about. No, she didn't say maybe. They were right about y'all back then. And so I can understand you're consuming a bunch of Real Talk with Me content and Paris Milan content, and you're in Mahogany Pink's comment box saying, please come back and give us some more, right? And you're watching Lexus Exodus, and you're watching all of these people, right? That essentially telling you that black men haven't done anything, they're losers, they're the worst. And you agree with them. And now you find yourself with maybe no man right now, right? I mean, don't we have the black woman right now, the former porn star that or adult content film star, right? Who's running around speaking about not wanting to be with a poor man, and then they show her with a poor neo-Nazi with the Confederate flag, and he's doing the salute, we'll say, for those of you that know what I'm saying, the short mustache man salute, right? And this same woman with all her makeup on and got the faux locks to the side, telling you why she can't be with a poor man, but yet she was out here getting, drilled, we'll say, getting the hammer put down on her, by some poor neo-Nazi. Yeah, and these are the type of women that speak about how black men don't build, while the only thing that's building is some man batter in the back of their throat from a white man. Ooh, goddamn, Mr. Z. Right? Yeah. Because the real problem is black men not building. It's not your materialistic, consumerist mindset that has been instigated and encouraged by white racist elites. The same white racist elites that you compare black men to, because really what you want to do is walk around here with expensive jewelry, big luxury cars, and a big house in the white suburb. And that's your real issue with black men. No other woman is living that life in majority, not even Asian women, not Latinas, not white women, but yet black women are saying the collective of black men, only 50 years out of Jim Crow, the problem is that they haven't done that for black women. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Yeah, everyone. Miss Inky and her ilk continuing once again to chastise black men for not building, not providing. The collective of black men, what have you done? What institutions have you built? In the middle of a post-COVID recession, right? In the middle of post-COVID, these people are so tone deaf, even when they're living in the middle of Armageddon, they can't help but punch on you, right? Right? They can't help but punch down on you, even in the middle of Armageddon. Huh. Facebook, fired 11,000 people, STEM degrees. That's the top. Just, actually, we gotta compete. We gotta downsize. Yeah. Bye-bye. Huh. In this environment. Remember, these are the same women that were calling into Kevin Samuel's show telling you what they're not gonna settle for. Yeah. Give me a second, everyone. Let me place this order. Give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Let me get some comments in the comment box. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and give me a second, everyone. All right, so while I'm waiting, D. Scott says, and thank you for the super chat, D. Scott. D. Scott said, I may not know the capital of Washington, D.C., but I know y'all Negroes ain't ish. Okay, Keishan. And D. Scott, really, though, really. Like, and once again, thank you, D. Scott, for the super chat, and thank you, Sir Anthony. Haven't seen you in a while, Sir Anthony. What's going on? Thank you, Sir Anthony, for the super sticker. Yeah, that is what they're saying, isn't it? That is what they're saying, right? I may not know everything about the world. I may not know much, but I know you Negroes ain't ish. And give me a second, y'all. Y'all give me a second. Y'all give me a second. I know. Give me a second, everyone. All right, everybody. We are back. We are back. We are back. Okay. All right. So we got our lunch. Oh, what the he had a soul. Okay. Look, I don't like being called out like this. I don't like the fact that but yes, it was Popeyes. It is Popeyes. I don't get it as often as y'all think, but I do get it a lot. And it's like I said, it's on the way to my job. All I got to do is turn off a little earlier than I usually would, and between that, there's another restaurant called Subs Grill down here in South Florida. I don't know if they have it in other places around the country. It used to be called Miami Subs, but now it's just called Subs Grill. There's a couple of, when you're in a rush and and my lady does cook. It's not really her. It's really me. I'll be in a rush, and then a lot of food I don't like to microwave. I'm a toaster oven guy, right? So I'm the type of guy that likes to maybe preheat just a little bit in the microwave, let it defrost a teeny tiny bit, and then put it in the toaster oven. That way you still get whatever was supposed to be just a bit crispy. It's still a bit crispy. All of that type of stuff. I'm that guy. And because obviously, even though there's lunchrooms where I work, nobody got no damn toaster oven. So yeah, so there's that. Anyway, okay, so we are back. We are back. Somebody's calling me out and said, at least it's not Taco Bell. Look, babe, I don't like the way you be calling me out. So. Not in front of the people. Not in front of, no, I'm joking, y'all. So yeah. Oh, so you listening in, okay. But yeah, so, as I was saying, this is the problem with Miss Inky and her ilk. Black men are losers. Black men ain't building, because they have an insane concept of building. It's not building a nuclear family. Oh, no. No. Especially not a nuclear family that's, normal. No, for them, if you're not elite, then why even have kids with? And that's what women are saying. Why get married? Why have children if you're not elite? Right? I'm sorry about the honking, you guys, because, yeah, people cut you off to go 2 miles an hour and make a right turn. That part. Okay. So, so yeah, it's not, these people aren't trying to build a nuclear family. They're not, what they're trying to build is a big ass wallet for themselves, right? A purse with all of your money in it. The same people that, speak about men objectifying women, boiling you down to nothing but a status symbol and a walk-in wallet. And, yeah. Maybe the occasional sex toy, that part too, but mainly a walking wallet over glorified guard dog. That part, That way they can bludgeon white women and Latinas over the head with, look at what my man got. Look at what he got me. I would almost, it is inhumane, really, when you think about it. You're not actually a human. You are a product. And that's why they're so incensed that they're stuck in the black community with you, a beat up old, what unreliable car, because it's not going to be a Corolla or a Civic, because those are actually reliable. They essentially see you as a beat up old, unreliable car compared to white women who walk in the door with, name the luxury brand or car. Benz E-Class, right? Beamer 5 Series at the least. And that's really how these women think about it, right? Right? What the he had a soul said, where can I send you a link? My email's in my description, right? My email is in my description. If not, you can put it in the comments after the live, right? But it's sad. It's because these people are so myopic. Doesn't do it's not big enough and strong enough of a word. Shout out to the brother Edward Anderson when he said this is a mental illness, because it really is. They literally work next to white and Latina women. They watch as some white women come to work pregnant. They watch definitely Latina women come to work pregnant. They watch that. They watch her only take leave the last 2 weeks of the pregnancy. They watch that. The last 3 weeks of the pregnancy, if even. They watch her come back to work within 3 to 4 months after the pregnancy. They watch that happen. And then they have the unmitigated gall, the gumption, the temerity, you name the word, to say black men don't build and these black men as a collective don't build. What? The men that you are comparing black men to, these builders and providers and protectors, these Ubermen, right? Not even supermen, Ubermen. Their women are working. Once again, some 72, 76% of mothers in America work. Right? Median household income, not even 70 grand. Right? Spain man said, the Yugos of the hood. Really? What other like unaffordable car was really like absolute crap? That's how they look at, right? Yeah, oh, Daewoo's. We're the Daewoo's, right? Y'all remember Daewoo? Not even Kia. Not even Hyundai, because Hyundai and Kia then came up over the past few years, right? We're the Daewoo's of America. And it's black men's fault. It's black men's fault. These people, I don't know where they start the clock. They don't start the clock, even though they throw it in our face, Jim Crow, they don't start the clock. Because real talk with Yanni threw integration in black men's faces like Eisenhower didn't want to integrate anyway because he saw what happened in Germany. Right? No, it's not that. But they throw these things in our faces, and what you find out is they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Look at what China's doing to the Uyghurs right now. Look at Israel with the Palestinians right now. You just don't know what you're talking about. Look at Iraq with the Kurds. You don't know what you're talking about. But you still talking. And it's not even that you're talking with all the gusto and the bravado in the world. Black men ain't ish, black men don't build. You had the whole Biafran war in Nigeria. How many of your Nigerian friends tell y'all about that? Sectarian wars all over the planet. All over Eastern Europe. Literally, you have Russia and Ukraine right now. Literally, you have Russia and Ukraine right now. Shout out to Paris Milan for trying to throw that in black men's faces until white people checked her and told her she don't know what she's talking about because y'all don't know what y'all be talking about. Look at these white men are protecting their women. White women and white men jump in her comments. Yeah, those white men don't want to be there. They flamed her so much she deleted the whole damn post. Loser. Right? What the hot soul, don't do that. Don't do that to the old 280Z. Z's a fire. Especially the 280ZX Turbo was like the third or fourth fastest car in America at that time. It's like 1982, 82-ish. Not the 280Z, but the 280ZX. The turbo one. I think it made like 180 horsepower back then. But remember, that was right after the fuel crisis of the late 70s. And so all the cars, all the automobile manufacturers kind of detuned and depowered their automobiles. So like 180, but 180 horsepower in a 2,700, 2,800 pound car was big deal. And the only two cars that were faster than it, I'm talking about like production cars, not no one-off Ferraris and whatnot, or not no, specialty car that your uncle built, but with two Porsches. It was the 911 Turbo, I think. It was a 911 and like another Porsche, I think, were like the two cars that were faster than it. So don't do that to the 280ZX. I know you said 280Z, but still, right? And Spain man said the best of us could be DeLoreans. DeLoreans are fire. right? They just were underpowered, and the reason why DeLorean went to prison is because he was out here living life reckless, trying to fund a particular engine that he wanted to put in the DeLoreans to make them faster. Because everybody, like, the DeLoreans look nice, right? But they're underpowered. They look faster than they actually are, and what he ended up doing was trying to be on some D-boy stuff, and he got caught up and ended up having to do prison time, right? K Dot said, Mr. Z, do you see my comment? Let me see. See, whenever, no, K Dot. See, whenever I'm in this view, give me a second. Let me see. K Dot, it's not showing any comment before this. That's interesting. Wait a minute. Is that no? Nope. That's weird. But yeah, you know, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. But yeah, like I said, I'm about to close out, reach my destination. You know, it's disheartening, I guess, because the brothers are engaging in passport bro activity now, we'll say. You got SYSBM brothers. And y'all know, like, I'm blackity black, pro black. I'm in a relationship with a black woman. And I would love to see more nuclear black families. And this was my comment to O Stefco a couple weeks ago when I spoke about her having a problem with Trevor Noah's going away kind of speech from The Daily Show. And this is what I was speaking about. Like, how do you make wives out of these type of women, O Stefco, with this type of delusion? They're not looking at the environment. They don't know what's going on. They're literally living through a recession right now. They're literally watching as white people, younger, under the age of 40 white people, scream about how they can't afford these homes. You have articles coming out that you have to earn some $100,000 a year, as at least as a family, to afford a home in the U.S. right now, give or take $100,000. And in that environment, these women are talking about how black men don't build. Right? It makes it really difficult to advocate for black nuclear families and to tell some of the brothers, hey, you know, we got some good ones. Like, oh, Stefco said that we got black women that go to church and they're traditional. Yeah, those black women are married. The black women you're talking about, they're in serious relationships, about to get married, or are married. The black women you're talking about are, yeah, they're off the market. Yeah, those black women, yeah. And many other black men are in the black community with black women that think like Miss Inky and Real Talk with Yanni and Chrissy and Paris Milan and Lexus Exodus and Mahogany Pink and Divested Zealot, and you name them. Chris Logic, name all of them. The black community, black men are in the black community with women that have an insane view of some type of provider, protect. When they say provider, they mean I want to be a boss chick. Like, I want some hodgepodge of, like, the corner office, I'm lead attorney, and he's like one of the board members or the CEO. But at the same time, I want to be a stay-at-home mom where I don't have to lift a finger and I can look down on Karen, right? And I have this big luxury car and I have this big house in the burbs, but I don't want my son in the burbs to end up with bringing home a white girl or a Latina for prom. Like, it's this weird hodgepodge of stuff that sometimes don't even make sense and kind of is mutually exclusive. Because they have a bunch of, like, boss chick, rich girl fantasies playing in their mind simultaneously. Some of them that conflict with each other. right? Looking down on their cute. I could finally talk crap to my cute cousin that grandma treated better. I could finally drive back to my neighborhood and the cute chick that all the dudes were drooling over in high school. I'm gonna pull up to where she work and have my man buy my stuff in front of her and then look down my nose at her. Y'all think those women don't be having those fantasies. I'm telling you, they be having those fantasies. These weird, delusional, arrested development brats. Y'all could say all y'all want about black men being immature. We have a bunch of immature brat women, little girls running through the black community. And this one is not exclusive to some of your sisters in the hood, that's working, some type of minimum wage job or something. No, educated, even accomplished black women. You speak to them long enough about what they think about men and relationships, and they sound like 12-year-olds. Right? And shout out to the brother Spain man. Exactly. My son will date a dark-skinned black woman, but my daughter can go where she's celebrated. And they will sit down and Spain man, they will sit down and justify that. Well, it's because black women, we have to go where we're celebrating. Black men often go where it's easier, and they think it's easier, and then colorism and racism and then black women are forced to and you can't. On that respect, see, they're trying to do one-to-one on everything else. Passport bros, passport girls. Cool, right? But once we start talking about this interracial stuff, they don't want to do one-to-one anymore. Wait, so if your son dates out, if your daughter dates out, it's okay. If your son dates out, no. Forget date out. They don't even want the son to come home with a light-skinned black woman, like you said. Definitely not a racially ambiguous black woman. You come home with Mariah Carey, it's a problem. Right? You come home with a Mariah Carey, it's a problem. Let alone a full-blown, well, you could argue Mariah Carey is a Latina, right? She actually is a Latina. Right? By her dad, for those of you that don't know. I think her dad was Venezuelan or something like that. Black Venezuelan. Something along those lines. And Big Kev says, it's mind-boggling how much energy in Western society is wasted trying to impress goofy thoughts. Thank you for the super chat, Big Kev. I'm saying it's confounding. Is that the word I want to use? It really is. And I'm not, and we go into detail about black men's hypocrisy. We go into detail. We dig in through it, right? All the feminists in college and university digging through it, right? Putting it on full display for white folks to see. Meanwhile, those exact same feminists are either out here eating vagina or being the bust down for some white dude. I'm saying. All the hypocrisy you talking about. Black men want this and this and this. And the people that are saying this are inferiority complex having, insecure little girls who, when you speak to them, tell you how they pay all their bills and they grown. Okay, you pay your bills. You're immature as hell. You want to talk about emotional intelligence? Yours is 0. right? You have the emotional bandwidth of a centimeter, right? They think being an adult stops at being able to pay your bills and that being able to pay your bills. No. If you're gonna throw that in men's faces, men don't build, men don't protect, and all that goes back to I reserve the right to be an insufferable bee, an angry, bitter bee, until I meet the man that buys me out of that. And let's be honest, man, we already know ain't no buying her out of that. What she really means is she pretends long enough to you hopefully get her pregnant, and then now she got you by the testicles. Right? And shout out to the Green Gorilla. That was a genius post that Green Gorilla put up. Right? How Stella got her groove back, talking about this boss B going to Jamaica, ended up with this dude, blah, 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 getting her groove on, bringing him back. Right? Dude is secretly gay. All of that. This movie, how Stella got her groove back is what, 20 plus years old? And yet Passport Bros, oh God, it's a problem. Once again, the hypocrisy. You got brothers that made the documentary about going to Brazil some years ago, and the same women that were clapping it up for how Stella got her groove back were incensed about black men talking about going to mainly find black women in Brazil. Mainly black adjacent, right? Mixed black women in Brazil. Nobody really talking about some white Brazilian women. Mainly talking about some type of black, whether it's mulatto mixed, some type of black Brazilian women, and they're incensed, but yet they clapping it up for how Stella got her groove back. The hypocrisy of it all. And I'll truly pause right here, everyone. Thank you for listening in. Miss Inky, I get it. Fine. Like I said, then go end up with that top 20% elite white man. And really, y'all don't want the top 20% white man. Y'all really want the top 1%, 0.1%. Y'all don't settle for the top 20 and then throw him in black men's faces. But once again, you have to get that man to not just get you pregnant by accident, but marry you and put you in that house in the burbs and, pay that Benz off for you in that Beamer, and then you can potentially throw him in our faces. But all of those things have to happen. And, by evidence of the past 50 years, for the most part, white men are not interested. You could argue white men are not even interested in doing that for white women, but y'all not paying attention to that. Y'all just want to throw upper middle class white men in our faces without paying attention to the environment. So be it. The collective of other men, what have the collective of black men done? That's cute. That's cute. And I'll pause right there. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Love, peace, and chicken grease, right? And yeah, Mr. Z out. All right, everybody. Shout out to K Dot. Let's let K Dot get the last comment. K Dot says, divestors build themselves off of hate. Beautiful. And I agree. And I agree. And it's sad. It truly is sad. If you're a millennial like me, you're approaching 40. Charles is 40. And these women still sound like this. Some of these women are like 38, 39, 40, maybe 41. Boy, we're not even talking about like 22-year-olds. It's obviously some Gen Z in that conversation. Duh, but wow. All right, everyone. Anyway, I'll pause right there. Truly, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Check out other Black Manosphere content. Check out other non-Manosphere content so y'all don't sound like Miss Inky and Real Talk with Yanni. Yeah. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out. Black men don't build.